How into pop culture are you?
I'm pretty into pop culture, but Black pop culture.
Amazing. And I have questions for you.
I'm very in the urban community. So the whites, I think I know like 80%, but you know.
Yeah.
I'm more in our business.
Okay, another question. Did you have Disney Channel growing up?
I did not have cable. I'm a PBS kid.
I'm also a PBS kid.
Oh, really?
My gosh, yes.
Oh my God.
Have cable. We were
we were poor.
Yeah, we were in poverty.
Exactly. And my parents were like,
also, on top of that,
you know how our parents are.
I also couldn't watch whatever we had.
Exactly. No.
Yeah.
Never had cable. But sometimes Disney would show up on Channel 7, ABC.
Oh,
like Saturday mornings.
No, it's
so I would see
crazy.
some of the stuff.
I think I would go to my cousin's house. I watch every single like big Disney Channel
That's
movie
so Raven.
and everything. Yeah, like I watched all of it. I watched Lizzie McGuire and everything. Yeah. And I'm like, and yet we didn't have
We didn't have it. You didn't need it though.
You didn't. It was like osmosis at some point. It was just like in the air. Yeah.
I'm also really into Abisha TikTok drama. So
are you serious? Okay, you need to get me on it.
Oh, I'll send you stuff.
I literally don't know anything. I'm so disconnected from Abisha talk, and I don't quite know how to get on.
Ethiopian TikTok is the messy. I literally send it to my American friends. Like, I'm sorry. I know you can't understand a thing, but like read the comments and catch up. So good. Very messy stuff.
Oh, it's very
messy stuff.
And I think I know like one or two of like the TikTok fame.
Who?
There.
Oh, we'll talk offline. Offline because I have some questions about. I feel like I know who it is, but
I don't think you do. It's literally like just random. Like they're not random. They're doing well, but they're like more. They do more like the food talk.
Oh, okay. So they're like good people.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Not necessarily the messy ones. Oh my gosh, but cannot wait to get into that tea.
Amazing.
Hello, welcome to Are You New Pod. I am your host, Alkidani Jamo, and today I have a very exciting guests. I'm finally tapping into guests that I haven't known for like 15 years of my life. So this is a new friend. Welcome, Biruktawit Tasfai. Do you want to share your full name?
Biruktawit Zalalan.
Sorry, Zalalan.
No, you're good. You're good. Biruk or Haney. You know, Ethiopians have like a million names. So
very cute.
Pick your poison.
Yeah, do you go by Biruk?
I go by Biruk at work and then Haney like socially because my friends and family call me that since I was a kid.
That's so cute.
Yeah.
I get it. I see it.
You see Haney?
I do see Haney.
Okay.
It like makes sense.
Do you have a house name?
I do.
What's yours?
You'll never know.
Oh, okay. We'll keep that a secret. Offline.
I like.
Were you a Me Too?
I don't tell Americans. Oh, you won't guess it. It wasn't a Mariña. Like it wasn't a super playful name like that.
Oh, that's cute.
It's a whole other name technically. But yeah,
okay,
my family calls me that. People from Hosanna call me that. Shout outs to my kinfolk. But welcome to the pod.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be here. I was telling you I was nervous. Please don't come for my nails. I was trying to paint them on the subway so I could look presentable for this recording.
She's
Apologies
beautiful.
in advance.
Look at her.
I was trying to. All of the amazing women that you've had so far all looked great, and I didn't clock that until.
Mm-hmm. You'll be in their numbers.
Thank you.
You look beautiful.
Thank you.
Appreciate Are you kidding? Hair eating. I love your top.
Thank you.
I love the necklace.
Yes.
I've actually never seen
my mom gave
with that
to me.
design.
Yeah.
It's stunning.
Thank you.
J'adore.
Thank you.
I love the look. Oh, freckles. I'm so scared to do the freckles.
The freckle look? You can pull it off. It's very easy. Just start with one and then you'll get addicted. It's like tattoos.
I feel like I'm going to have 7 very large freckles by accident.
That's how we all start.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not strong enough for that. That was for middle school.
Real.
I don't want to learn anything new makeup related anymore. I'm tired. Okay, wait. How are you doing? How's your week been? Have you learned anything new recently? It could be gossip. It could be a TV show. Could be new music.
Wow. Yeah. Well, Amine, I love Amine. He's a rapper. He dropped a new album.
Yes. I was trying to get tickets to
show.
And could I know? I logged in at 10:02 with the early code. It was sold out at 10 o'clock.
I'm not really a fan of the whole dropping an album and then dropping the tour, like the back-to-back thing. I don't know what's... Yeah. They used to like give us like a few months.
They did.
To save up.
They cared about our money.
Yeah. It's getting scary.
I don't know who to blame for that, but like y'all ain't right. You know tax money is gone by now also. This is actually disrespectful.
Very disrespectful. Yeah. All of our tax money is gone.
Yeah.
So I don't even try. I'm surprised that you did. Honestly,
I did. Like I got the promo code. I also figured it wasn't gonna be that much money.
How much was it?
Girl, I have no idea.
Oh, you didn't even get into
I don't know why
like
I said that. No, I didn't even get cued. It's actually devastating.
That's just what it is with live shows. I was trying to see like Cowboy Carter tickets, and I'm gonna see her because it's just I have to.
Yes.
Like,
Did you find a ticket?
I
You
have,
your
but it's
best
in the
chance day off.
day. That's what we're gonna try to do. Is just wait day off. Have you
For
gotten
MetLife.
tickets?
I actually went to Renaissance day off with a day off ticket. And I'm gonna
jealous.
go see Cowboy Carter 4th of July in
Oh,
DC.
that'll be beautiful.
It'll be very pretty. I'm very concerned about the fireworks situation. I don't know how we're gonna deal with the noise pollution.
Yikes.
I don't understand. But like they must know.
There has to be some technician that knows how to
Yes.
handle that. Yeah.
She's a magician.
She's perfect.
Can you soundproof an outdoor stadium? We're gonna find out on
But
the next episode.
you can get those the little earplugs that where you can still listen to music.
Yes.
Yeah.
I have Loop. My
Oh.
friend that's the company that
Okay.
pioneered that. My friend used to work for them. R.I.P. to that job. Great had little things. It's great for concerts.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I'm very excited. It's gonna be very Americana.
Very.
I don't have an outfit together.
I don't like that there's so much pressure about that. It's like it's literally a concert.
I think it's
okay.
only for Beyonce.
No, it's like other concerts I've been seeing.
Oh.
People have like outfits for like Playboy Cardi concerts, and they're like in this like drip vampy,
Are we sure,
really like
babes?
it's like a thing with like right, like it's becoming a thing. It's eventized, which I get, but it's a bit much
because I think the beginning of that was like the outfits. I think it was like hip hop and then the emo culture. That was when you would have like when you would go to concerts and it was a scene, right? And it was an othered scene.
Yeah.
And so like people were kind of like in that life. The fact that like we now have outfits to see like a random pop star is crazy.
That's what I'm saying. Like
wear what you have at home. Take out your jeans and shirt.
Yeah,
please.
when you're like a broke college student and like you spent all your money on the concert, like why are we also having these expectations around that fit? It's not that deep to me. But I will get a fit though. I will.
With that being said, we will be there with
yes, we will look
a
good.
cow print of some sort, a turquoise of some sort.
Something.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So Amine's album, I haven't listened to it yet.
It's great. I love it.
Okay, I'm very excited.
I'm excited for you.
I'm gonna listen to the whole.
Mhm.
I think I'll do that tomorrow because I'm working from home and I can just have it playing.
Yeah, it's chill. It's chill background.
I can't. When new albums come out, I listen to it like
Me too. I'm
reporting on it.
I'm
like
focused.
it's so
same.
It's never that serious though. But I'm just
sometimes
let me
is.
listen to the lyrics. Actually,
No, with him, I want to.
Yeah. It looks like
he put some thought into it, like a lot.
Like retreat.
Mm-hmm.
For those who don't know, also I believe the reason he called it 13 months of sunshine, right?
Mm-hmm.
I believe Ethiopian calendar has 13 months. That's why.
Sunshine. Yeah, and I love the cover with like the woman in the photo and the cross.
Yes.
Even cross. Like I like the little artistic call outs to the culture. He's cool. I really appreciate how much he appreciates the culture.
Me too.
Yeah.
Because we just don't really have that.
It's just mainstream. Yeah.
Yeah.
The Weeknd just started claiming us.
Yeah. Well, he has that bunna line. Well, he had a little tongue.
I didn't support that. I'm sorry. That's my hot take. I refuse
you don't
to support
the coffee. The bunna?
Because I was like, let me be quiet. Actually, like you said, maybe certain things we don't need to
and
say.
like when we get jobs with the Weeknd, we do support it.
I love you, Abel Tesfaye. Love you.
I heard you're rebranding. I heard you're calling yourself by your given name.
Congrats.
Welcome, Abel.
Welcome. We welcome you back into the community.
Thank you. Can't wait for your next project.
Yes.
Hopefully there will be musically inclined and not film, but like love
that
art.
Movie. Ooh,
I love art. I haven't seen have you seen
I haven't. I've just seen the clips we've all seen. No comment. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Best wishes to all.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if you're from our country. Okay, so I will check out 13 Months of Sunshine tomorrow.
Let me know how it goes and how you like it. I would love to.
I would
love to hear your thoughts.
Mm-hmm. It'll be very cute.
Yeah.
Are you watching any shows that you're like
into? I've been trying to finish White Lotus for like a month now. I'm on the last episode. Every time I play it, I fall asleep. I don't know what's going on. I'm not
that as a sedative.
No, I don't know, and I don't know if I'm watching it too late or what it is. I'll literally get 10 minutes into the last episode, fall asleep. It's been like I'm on the 5th try of trying to finish the last episode.
I think the music.
It's just very eerie, and I think my body shuts down. Like I get scared very easily. So I think my body's just like enough.
I'm imagining you looking at the cut up to like the monkeys and like the little music, and you're like, all right.
It's just something's going on. But I do love White Lotus.
Okay.
what have I seen? I've seen Sinners a million times.
Oh,
I'll watch it
I
again.
haven't seen it one time.
You have to see it.
No, I want to see it. I've been trying to see it, actually. All of you who are going to the 70mm IMAX at AMC, Lincoln Center, if you're going twice, I'm wishing a small plague upon your house. Because I haven't got to see it.
It's
one
sold
time.
out bad. It's been sold out bad for weeks. It's
I've
ridiculous.
been like refreshing, and I can't get a
but
ticket.
you know what? Just see it in 70mm without IMAX at East Village Angelica. That's where I've seen it.
I love the Angelica.
Yeah, Angelica's great.
Yeah.
You know.
Okay.
Just see it there. It won't be
I
IMAX, but it is what it is.
Vision.
I know.
It's fine. It's fine. It's actually fine. It's okay. I'll see it.
No, it's okay. I also didn't get a chance to see a 70mm IMAX.
Yeah.
Just 70mm and then or IMAX. Like
or
never
IMAX.
together.
Yeah.
So
it's okay.
yeah.
I'm sure they'll do a special release at some
They
point.
will. They definitely will.
Probably like next year.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna go see Sinners.
Yeah.
And like I have somehow managed to avoid every spoiler.
Wow.
That can be like I literally scroll past.
That's impressive.
Yeah, no, it's hard because I be on every social media. So
very
it's
impressive.
It's not easy.
I don't know how you avoided that.
Yeah. Okay. So if you haven't seen Sinners, just go watch it.
Mm-hmm.
You're never gonna get the 70mm and IMAX.
No.
So give up now.
Yeah.
That's
let it
the
go.
lesson for today. Sometimes you must give up. Okay. So today, our first time experience topic, we're gonna be discussing your first time traveling.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Set the scene. How old were you?
Yes. So I was 7. This is my immigration story.
Yes.
Yeah, you know.
How she came to the States.
Good old-fashioned immigration story.
Yeah.
I was 7. It was
7 years
traveling to America. Set the scene. Well, so my dad came to the U.S. 2 years before us.
Ooh. And is this, do you have siblings?
I do. I have an older sister and a younger brother, both 5 years
Yeah.
apart. Like, well, my sister's 5 years older and my brother's 5 years younger. So, yeah, I'm smack dab in the middle.
Wow, middle child. Ooh, I've heard terrible things.
You know,
Yeah.
we be going through it. The rumors are
Actually,
true. We be going through it.
You could have been an oldest daughter.
You think so?
Yes.
Aw, that's sweet.
I don't think there's anything worse than being an oldest daughter.
Being an oldest,
societally.
I feel like people say that about me, and then they meet my sister, and they're like, "She's the oldest sister."
She's actually.
And I'm like,
no,
yeah.
you do. Like when I met you, the one time we met before, you did give off like oldest daughter vibes.
Is it because we were also the oldest in that room?
Yes. I was the oldest person in a room.
24-year-olds.
Like, wow.
We were grown.
I've never felt older in my whole life. It was fine.
It was fine.
It was like gathering of 22s.
I think I give older sister like emotionally, like in terms of the emotional support that I give. It was
also like,
but that's it. Responsibility wise, no.
We were at like a potluck, and she brought like the main dish, which I feel like is very much
I did
oldest.
That. I did do that.
Yeah,
yes, I did.
And it was like everyone was waiting for that dish to come.
Yeah,
and like you came and like set it up, and it was like in a very nice actual like bowl, and I was like, girl, I would have put this in a foil and hope for the best. But yeah, that gave off. I was like, oh, okay, I could see. But middle children, yeah.
Yeah. I feel like we're just people pleasers. Like I do that for people, but I'm not gonna like cook all of that for myself.
Yeah. But
you know?
That makes you guys very compatible with a lot of people.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So that's cool.
Yeah. But,
okay. So it was. So your dad was here 2 years before.
Exactly. Yeah. He had 2 of his sisters here. So. But he was in Denver. But I didn't know he was in Denver. Like we had never heard of Denver. He had been telling us, or maybe my sister. We've actually never addressed this.
Ooh.
To be honest, maybe I will
talk
ask
about
her
the
now.
rumors.
But to my understanding, he was in Washington D.C. because we didn't know.
But that's everyone thinks. The only places I knew when I was in Utopia, I knew San Francisco because my dad had happened to have gone there, and he worked with an organization that was based there. So I knew San Francisco. Did I know San Francisco was in California? No, a state is not my business. I knew a place. It could be a state. It could be a city. Don't care. And then I knew Washington, D.C. Yeah. And then I had seen the Capitol building. I thought that was the White House. That was the understanding everyone had until I came 100%. Here. And then I was like, the White House. And people were like, no,
that's not. That's exactly what we only knew Washington, D.C. because it's the capital.
Yes.
And
Ethiopian Airlines had a direct flight there.
Exactly.
That's also why.
Yeah, but we weren't a family that was like really interested in America at all.
Yes.
Like excited about coming. Like we were very happy to be Ethiopian. I went to a French school, so I knew French.
Ooh.
So I was like, if I ever leave Ethiopia, I would be to go to France. Like
really?
Yeah. So it was never like in my radar. The only time we ever consumed American media was when we were watching like Days of Our Lives, and we would literally only watch it to like because my mom and my aunts loved the houses.
I love the export of Days of Our Lives to Ethiopia.
I know, right?
Very did love a soap. We love a soap. But back in my day, like when I came, the only soap I had seen was Acapulco.
Where's that?
This is Acapulco was based in Acapulco, I believe. It was a Spanish soap. It was a novella, and in Ethiopia it was massive. Back, how old are you?
I'm 28.
Okay, yeah. 10 years before. It was massive.
Wait, I'm not familiar. I need to check it out.
Like, I remember the entire town going quiet when it was on. It was so intense. Everyone loved Acapulco. It was the best novella to this day that I've seen. Was I 6 years old watching this? Yeah, I got it.
I know. It wasn't even the storyline. Like, we didn't understand the language. Yeah. You know what I mean? It was like the drama and like the inflections on their face. And it just felt so like, you know, Ethiopians are also very dramatic.
Yeah.
So like we see a woman slapping a man. We're like, yes! That's what we want to do to our husbands, you know? So it just felt like it was very like a woman-centric kind of activity. And my mom and her sister loved watching it because of the houses too.
Yeah.
So like even to this day, she's still like that. We could be watching a movie and it could be like a scene of somebody dying. And she'll be like, those curtains.
Do you see? They're very
Do you see those curtains? Like that's, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
okay, an eye for design.
Exactly.
Shout out to your mom.
Yeah. So we just were never that interested in America per se, but he was trying to get us interested slowly by introducing Washington DC as like a thing. And I don't remember what movie it was. I think it was some Will Smith movie where he like shot a gun with
Independence Day.
Was it? I don't remember.
It must be Independence Day.
Did he shoot a gun with like whipped cream or some type of cream coming out? That's why I'm not sure if it was a Will Smith movie, but there was some movie that I remember from my childhood. Memories of my childhood can also be disjointed at times, so bear with me. And
you can't trust child memories, period.
You know what I'm saying? But I just remember seeing like whipped cream coming out of this gun, and I told my dad, I was like,
I feel like this is an ad that was like very successful.
It must have been. Maybe it wasn't a Will Smith movie. Maybe it was Eddie Murphy. I don't know. Yes. But he was like, if you come to America, like when you guys come, I'm gonna get you a bike and I'm gonna get you that gun that shoots out whipped cream. And
that would have got me. I'm not gonna lie to you. That would get me.
You got me.
I'd be like, they got whipped cream over there. Like, let's go.
Literally.
What are we waiting for?
Yeah. So we got excited. And just to see him and just to like have those kinds of experiences. But you know, it was sad leaving. I remember like my earliest memories were just like always watching planes as a kid, sitting outside and like.
Were you near Bole?
No, we were in Ayartena.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bole is the airport.
Yeah.
In Addis Ababa.
Yeah, we didn't see planes as often as they did, but when they would drive by Ayartena, I would just always sit and be like, my dad. Like one day I'm gonna get on there and see my dad. Yeah. So it just always like it was very created a certain type of memory around travel for me that I still kind of have, like a. I don't know, almost an awe, but also like a kind of painful memory around traveling. Yeah. I always say like to me, airports and hospitals, when I walk in, I feel like they have the same energy to me where it's like.
Very interesting.
Yeah. It's like on one end of the spectrum, some people are getting the best news of their lives, right? Like they're seeing their loved ones. People are healing. They're reuniting. Like
someone just gave birth.
Right? Like all of those kind of beautiful sentimental moments. And then on the complete opposite side of that, it's like the last time you're seeing your loved one. Yeah. Terrible news, all of this unknown. And so it's just like I always get anxiety when I'm in both places.
I really understand that. I totally get it.
Yeah.
Yes. Because when we came to the States as well, you would have literally thought there was a funeral. The way people were like screaming and crying when we were saying bye.
And like, you don't conceptualize that as a kid.
No.
But you know why now, right? Like, that's literally going to be the last time we see some of these people. And it is.
And it was. It was the last time we saw a lot of people. Did your mom, like, talk to you guys about what to expect or anything? Because she's, like,
she didn't even know what to expect either. Yeah. I think for her, she was just doing it because she wanted us all to be, you know, together with my dad. Yeah. And she was like, okay, it presents a decent life for them. But she still does not like America. And I don't blame her. So yeah. So
I was like, neither. Right?
Yeah, exactly. We had conversations, but it wasn't like, oh, you're gonna expect it. She didn't know what to expect. Yeah. It was very like, you know, random for her too. Mm-hmm. But we all eventually got here. We stopped in New York City before we went to Denver.
Before that was your first time on an airplane too.
Yeah, it was. It was my first time.
Were you scared because you were a kid?
I wasn't scared.
What?
No.
Were you just like hyped?
I was kind of hyped, like,
You're
on
like,
the plane. Like, after all of the, like, emotions, like you were talking about, the crying, the wailing, the weeping, and all of that. Obviously, we felt all that. But then when we get on the plane, it's like, oh my God. This is cozy.
This
like,
is cute.
Very
I could
cute.
nap because I'm 7 years old.
They give you
there's
food.
so much space.
They give you food.
Yes.
Ethiopian Airlines is very, for anybody that's been, like, on there, they're very, like, they're very good hosts.
Yeah, they're excellent hosts.
So,
they have, like, some of the best, like, ratings.
Yeah, they're trained really well.
They're very hospitable.
Yeah, so that's fun as a kid.
Yeah.
You're just like, oh my God, I'm on a plane.
And they're like, all the airline workers are so pretty as well.
Beautiful.
So
beautiful
you're like,
women.
oh my gosh, this is so cool.
That was like a requirement, which is, I mean,
you
messed
have to be,
up,
like,
not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Very sexist.
It is messed up.
You know, we're not going to talk about that.
You did have to be stunning. No, we could talk about it. It is messed up. The patriarchy, the male gaze was like, if we're going to be flying for 12 hours, I can only look at a woman who serves me and has to be like supermodel status.
Drop dead gorgeous. Yeah.
Like what?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's crazy. But they look good.
They look
amazing.
And
I did enjoy that, actually.
Me too.
So, yeah.
I still do.
Yeah.
Because that's still a standard high key.
Yeah, it is. Should they drop it? Is that controversial?
I think they should.
You think they should drop it?
I think they should drop it. Yeah.
I don't know if I want that.
Really?
Which is very funny because I would rather you ban men from taking flights than making having hot women be hostesses.
But what if you're like not conventionally attractive, but a good hostess, right?
But what I'm saying is, though, I think now, I actually don't know if they have like an actual
I don't know
exam.
if it's a policy.
Exactly.
I'm not sure
because I don't think you can do that.
It sounds, I mean, who knows? You never know with Ethiopia. You never know.
And also all the other airlines. But I think so much of it for me is not even just like the actual physical beauty. It's the like standard. Like you have to keep your hair and everything. But a lot of it is what makes them beautiful.
Right. Their presentation.
I think they present a lot more beautiful than like I think when I see you in that environment, I'll think you were much more gorgeous, and you could be walking down the street and I wouldn't be able to.
It's a certain way they carry themselves, right? Very poised, professional. I agree.
I feel like that could be cute.
Yeah, I agree.
Maybe keep that.
Keep whatever that is. Let's do more of that.
And ban men.
Yes, 100%.
Just in case. It's fine. Okay, so you weren't scared on the plane.
No, I liked it.
And then you get to
New York before we transfer. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And we almost got sent back home because my mom did like, I don't know if she had the wrong paperwork or something was missing. With 3 kids by herself.
It's so stressful.
They were.
And you guys are babies.
We were kids. We were little kids.
Yeah. Your younger sibling was like.
My brother was 2. My sister was 12. I was 7. Like, I'm like, what do you want this lady to do?
And
like,
she flew for 17 hours.
Literally. She'd never been internationally before that either. Yeah. So I'm just like, I just remember seeing 2 white men. I couldn't understand them, but just like yelling at her.
Yeah.
And I was just like, dang, for all of this, we can just go back to Ethiopia for real. Like, just put us on a plane.
Honestly, put me back.
Yeah.
They give me free food on the plane.
Yeah. Like, I'll go back home. Yeah. So that was our introduction to America, which, looking back, very, foreshadowing.
What season was it?
Winter, summer? There was sun out, so I want to say, like, spring.
Okay.
I don't remember.
Not us being like, there's no sun in the wintertime.
But maybe fall, because winter came close after.
Oh, okay, so it's probably fall.
So I think it was fall, but there was sun.
Okay, cool.
But then we get to Denver. I'm still thinking we're going to DC though. Like nobody mentioned.
No one said anything.
It's just like I don't know what was going on.
Which is also funny because you keep being like, I'm thinking we're going to DC, but I'm just like, but you wouldn't even know the difference.
In my mind, though, DC's like a big city, like because we're from, you know what I'm being from Addis.
Yeah, you're
I'm
from
thinking it's like
a city.
I come from a city, so I'm like I'm going to a bigger city.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, and it's not just Denver. We're going to Aurora, Colorado, so it's a suburb of Denver.
Yes.
For those that don't know, it's like a lot of immigrants, a lot of Ethiopian Eritreans, East Africans, Asians as well. Like it's a very mixed. It's still white, but it's still very mixed in terms of immigrant population.
Yeah.
And so we land, we have all the emotions, crying, reuniting. Right. My dad, my aunts. It's all beautiful. We take the pictures, whatever. And then we get in a car. we're driving, and I'm just seeing it. I remember it was night.
You're like, it's a lot.
I'm just like, it's really quiet, eerie, like really.
You had never heard such silence before.
Exactly.
You're like, what?
You know,
where am I? Where is Washington D.C.?
Yeah,
exactly. And how far is it?
But I'm thinking we're like rich, so I'm like, okay, I guess we just got to get through this like countryside to get to some civilization,
to the city.
Right? So we drive to the apartment complex and we park, and I see it, and I think we own the whole thing.
Yeah. You're like, I had a feeling. Yes.
Is it? Like, why do our parents do this to us?
But how can they explain this to you? What do you
mean? Just think some like it's already traumatic being an immigrant, right? Like it's already so many news. Like just prep us a little bit more.
But the thing
I didn't realize we were poor.
Oh no,
like they don't tell you that.
Oh, I knew we would be. But like my dad told us. No, my dad was like, you understand, like I'm going from a person who like he had a very good job. We were comfortable.
Right.
We wasn't rich. We was just regular comfortable.
Yeah.
But he was like, I'm going from this to potentially be a dishwasher. You know, like that's what we're giving up. And we had a lot of that conversation because he didn't really want to come. The only reason he came was like for us and stuff. He was fortunate enough to have traveled around because of his work, like internationally. Yeah. So he understood what being an immigrant in the U.S. means and what that costs. So we like knew like both of our parents were fully going to go into a minimum wage job, most likely. Now, hearing that and experiencing it,
it's different, but I'm glad that he had that convo.
Yes.
Because similar to your dad, like my parents we were comfortable. They were both like educated in academics. Like my dad, like yours, traveled for work and stuff. So he'd seen the world, you know. But there was no conversations. Yeah. Or maybe I'm forgetting, but there were so no conversations.
I think because of your age also, they were thinking like, what am I going to explain
I don't
to
think I don't think they realize like what a kid remembers maybe.
Yes. And also like how much to share. We also grew up in like a culture where like
that's not a thing.
You don't speak to children about like adult grown-up things.
No.
You really don't. Like the children will go along with the decisions.
Right.
And that's what we're gonna do. But the whole concept of like preparing a child for something, whatever. Like I still find it interesting when like people have a child in the US, they'll have like a whole preparation if they have another children to welcome the other kid. I'm like, in my country, the baby will come home. You'll find out then. What's the problem? What?
Like, you have a say in this and you're 5? It's crazy.
So I think that's a part of it. Like, they weren't parented with explanations, so they wouldn't necessarily.
Yeah, and to empathize with them to them. Exactly. Like, they don't know what they're getting into as well. So they're just hoping for the best, and they're like, we'll just figure it out as a team. Yeah.
You pull up to the apartment complex.
I'm looking, I'm like, dang, my dad got it. My dad got it like that. Like, wow, we own the whole thing. Before. But they still didn't say nothing to me.
And you keep walking.
And I'm like, okay. We walk up the stairs. We get into the apartment. That's when they tell me. I'm like,
what do you mean? What about like this? What about the other one?
The shoebox.
No, because what about
And I'm like, so we don't own all of that? And they're like, no.
Girl, no.
It was so... And then that's when it all hit. And I was just like, okay.
Are we poor? Hold on. Cut the cameras. Are we poor?
It hits you. And I don't know if like your memory, I mean, I went back to Ethiopia 10 years after that for the first time, but like as a result of that memory, like I don't know if this would happen to you, but for me, like I would romanticize Ethiopia to a fault where like in my mind, our childhood home in Ethiopia was huge.
A mansion, I was like, we were rich. Yes.
And then I went back and I was like, this was not that different from the apartment. I don't know why it felt that way.
No, I totally agree.
Yeah.
Like everything felt so much larger.
Yeah.
That happens when you're a kid. Like that is a part of the thing. Like your childhood memories. It's in the same way that like I remember speaking to a teacher or whatever that was 25 years old. And I remember all of us being like, wow, you're so old.
You're going to die tomorrow.
You're like actually you're literally going to die tomorrow. And like, what's that like, you know? In the same way, like everything felt so much bigger.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when we went back, I went back 16 years later. I went back like I was fully an adult.
Wow.
And everything was so much smaller. And also the distances because I used to walk to school. I went to like this Catholic school. You couldn't tell me that wasn't 20 miles, actually. You couldn't tell me I wasn't doing a quick 20-minute, 20-mile
weren't
walk.
lying, you know? Maybe that's how they remember it.
Truly. And then I get there, I'm like, it's so close. It's like a less than a 20-minute walk. I'm like, no. Everything in town is so nearby.
Same. There was like a field by my house, and the way that in my mind, it was like huge, like all of like you would have thought there was like dragons, like I don't know. And then I went back
the
and
whole
like
Amazon actually.
This is like there's like 2 trees. Like
no, actually, facts. This is very factual. Yeah, there was a meadow behind my house, and I remember like twirling and like hanging out in the meadow, and then there's a forest and everything, and it felt like so big, so massive. And then I went back and I'm like, this is a small field. Actually.
But my mind still to this day, is there though.
Same.
Like it doesn't matter that I've seen the other thing.
My experience was a mansion and a massive forest.
Yeah.
So.
We lived in like this beautiful savannah situation. Yeah. Exactly.
I don't care what reality says because that's not my lived experience.
Exactly.
Yeah. So you get into this apartment and then your parents are like, okay, this is our life. Welcome.
Yeah.
We'll talk about the bikes at some point. And then you start school right away?
It felt like pretty right away, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, because I think it was like in the middle of the school year. We started school.
Yeah. But you said your aunt was there.
Mm-hmm, we had 2 aunts there, yeah.
You had 2 aunts there.
Yep.
So you had cousins there? Or
no, they didn't have
cousins?
kids at the time.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So it was just you guys were the kids that was there?
Yeah. Yeah.
Were your parents a part of like, were there Ethiopian kids that you came across right away? Or at that point, was that not?
There was, so we would go to church.
Yeah.
And at the time, our church was like really, really small church.
Yeah.
They were just starting to like build it up.
Mm-hmm.
And so I would see kids like during like Sunday school, like when they had it here and there. They didn't really have an infrastructure for kids yet.
Yeah.
Like it was just starting to develop as a community for real. So, you know, if we had Sunday school here and there, I would see them or just like at church in general here and there. But it wasn't really. The first Ethiopian friend I made was this girl in my apartment complex.
Oh my gosh, okay, because that was going to be my next question.
Elshade, yes.
Because I was like, what was the apartment complex? Like vibes? Because I remember the friends I made were like literally, there were 2 kids next door to us. Yeah. And we became cool.
Were they Ethiopian?
And they were, no, I think they might have been from Sierra Leone actually.
Mm.
Yeah, they were tall to me.
Yeah.
So that's probably average height. I think they might have been from Sierra Leone or like something.
They were African.
Yeah,
though.
but they were African and they were like West African.
Mm-hmm.
So and then like there was a large Latino population in our apartment complex. It was also
ours too.
Deeply multicultural. I grew up in like the most diverse city in the U.S. at the time, and even now, my county is the most diverse. So that's like there were people from everywhere. I had never seen so many colors in my life.
Yeah,
but it was super cool. Did think all of America was like that. I was very wrong.
Yeah.
So
no, yay. That's it definitely colors your way of viewing America in a beautiful way.
Yeah.
But it's not, necessarily real. Yeah.
But like those kids were like, we ended up like going to a little like shop in our neighborhood. It was like a Latino shop, and then I got to try their candy and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And that was like my little world and introduction into the U.S., which was still massively jarring.
Yeah.
But I was like, everyone also feels like they're also new. And that made me feel better.
Yeah. That's how it felt for us too.
Yeah.
I mean, our apartment complex was definitely also multicultural. There were white people, but we didn't really interact with them. I remember being really good friends with this like Latino boy and his family. We would get babysat by like this Kenyan family, and their daughter was like a friend of mine, and we went to school together. And then Sudanese family would also babysit us. And then the Ethiopian family that we met and became really close friends with, and the daughter Elshade, she would like translate for me in school.
Oh my gosh!
But her Amaranya was not that
what it
good.
Could be.
And so the translations
was she born?
She was born
in Ethiopia?
She was born there, yeah, but she came really young.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
But that's so
No,
sweet.
she tried, but we would be in them classes.
Shout out
like,
to you, girl.
I love, to this day, we're still, that's still my girl. I consider her my cousin.
Oh my God.
I'm like, your family, love you, Elshade.
Wow.
Thank you.
That is so nice, and a thing I did not have. There were no Ethiopians in my school.
Oh.
As like multicultural as we were, there were no in like my elementary school. None. Yeah, all throughout high school there was like maybe 2, which is crazy because I was in Maryland.
I was gonna say I thought that was like built into the
but we were in
blood of all of Maryland is Ethiopians.
We were in Germantown. We weren't in Silver Spring, so like because we were more in the suburbs. A lot of families hadn't come out, or the families who had, they just were a little bit further apart, so they went to different school, and so I didn't have that. The way I was bullied that first 9 months.
Girl, me too.
Was not cute.
Me too. I was getting called all types of stuff that I wasn't aware I was getting called behind my back. But the bullying wasn't to my face, which thank you guys so much for not saying nothing for real to me. I heard it secondhand. It hurt, but it really didn't impact me because it was only for a few months, and then once I learned English, nobody said nothing. So what?
Wow, they did say it to my face. But I'm funny now, so balance.
Exactly.
It worked out.
Yeah, it builds
in my
character.
favor. My enemies never prospered.
No.
I am wishing all of you the worst, though, still.
I ended up being friends with those people, so
some of my closest friends were my bullies.
All is forgiven.
I'm dead.
I did smell like onion sometimes. You guys are right. Like, it is what it is. It was a small apartment. We couldn't put all our clothes away all the time before making what? Sorry.
Sorry. The food banged.
It banged.
So it is what it is. I'm so dead. I didn't even get the like onion comments. I don't even know what it was, but I was like really bad. It was so bad to the point that my dad was like, I think I may need, like her and I may need to go back to Ethiopia. Like, there was, like,
wait, you got bullied for real?
I got deeply bullied.
Oh, okay. It wasn't like that for me. I got
so deeply bullied. It was so crazy.
Wait, that's actually, no, I'm sorry. I didn't realize. I'm kikiing. This is real.
No, you should kiki.
It's like a real part of your trauma.
It's genuinely fine because I look back at it and I was like, first of all, 9-year-olds are deeply hurtful. Second of all, what happened? But I was like the new kid.
That's what they do. They gotta initiate you in. Yes. I guess it's a way of love.
Yeah.
You know?
No, it's not.
Okay, maybe not. Let me see. I go again justifying the trauma.
No, it's not a way of love.
It's wrong. Don't bully.
Don't bully. No. With that being said, some bullying, maybe it's okay. We can discuss.
Right.
It's a spectrum. It's a spectrum. Yeah, but I think it's funny because it like obviously impacted me, and I was like crying all the time, which was a new thing for my family. I was never a kid that cried. I'm pretty stoic.
Yeah.
So my family were like, oh my God, this is a 5-level alarm. And then, but at the same time, I didn't take any of it to heart. Like in a real way. Yeah. Like as an adult, like I didn't
like you knew what it was.
I never became insecure.
That's beautiful. I love
that. Which is
insane. No, that's good. I feel like...
Or maybe I'm on a spectrum to, like, narcissism. Do you know what I mean?
No, like, I think you realized what it was.
Like, yeah. I was like, well, this can't be about me.
Yeah.
I was still hurt. I was hurt about not having friends. Not about, like, the bullying. If that makes sense. It was the, like, newness of the culture and the isolation more than, like, people making fun of me. Because I was just like, okay.
Yeah, I agree.
My outfits.
I experienced that in middle school. Like, not as much in elementary because it was pretty... I got called the N-word for the first time in elementary school by this Latino boy. I'll never forget.
Is he one of your closest friends too?
No, we were never friends. We went to the same high school, and he was trying to be cool.
Nah.
And I was like, no.
Keep that same energy.
I think he forgot. You know what I mean? People don't remember what they say to you, but you always remember what they said to you. So we would have English class, and he'd be like, oh, what's going on? And I'd be like, literally never speak to me.
Never?
But
ever utter hi to me, actually.
Yeah, that was kind of, but once I called him short, he stopped bullying me. So it was what it was.
How the turntables.
Yeah. But because it was like diverse in elementary school, I didn't realize how bad it could get. And then my parents wanted me to go to like a magnet school or whatever because it was a bit more structured, more like around academics. And so once I went to that was predominantly white and Asian.
Ooh.
And that was not a good experience at all. I hated it.
1 star?
0 stars. 0 stars.
Yeah.
I had some great teachers and like made a lot of really good friends, but the racism, the anti-blackness specifically, yeah. And then that's when I started internalizing
a lot of things.
A lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Slowly. Like the elementary school stuff I could shrug off, but middle school, to this day, if I see middle schoolers on the train, I get like triggered.
It's so scary.
It's so bad.
They're so scary.
They're mean.
They'll say anything, and as human beings, we're actually not equipped to handle that.
No, we're not.
Yeah.
The racism of middle schoolers is next level.
They will come up with a racism phrase that you could never conjure. It is literally only of darkness.
Exactly.
Like, you
and
need that
it's
level
brilliant.
of angst. It's funny and it catches on really well.
It's really messed up though.
Yeah. It will ruin your life and psychologically impact you for the rest of your life.
Absolutely. I'm going to therapy to this day.
To this day.
So,
you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's rough. Middle school was annoying. I moved schools after that 9 months.
Oh, you did?
And
okay.
then I made friends and I was cool. We were all cool.
I'm glad that your dad
rough.
Paid attention to that.
No, they were all very stressed for me.
Yeah, I'm glad that my parents were not acknowledging it.
Household.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
Wow, that's very untraditional.
Discussions, and my dad would literally sit down with a notebook and we would have a discussion.
That is so beautiful.
It's very cute.
That's really sweet.
It was very cute.
My dad would also sit down with a notebook, but the decision was still made by him. So I'm like, what was the point of the conversation?
What was the point? No, my dad would still make the decisions, but we all had to give input.
And you felt heard?
Yes.
That's so empowering.
They would wake me up from sleep to have a family meeting. And I'm like, wow. I'm 7. Maybe
that's radical.
And
and revolutionary
and no one
in our
got
culture.
Skipped. My dad would literally, my one brother is very chill and whatever, and he's quiet. And he'd be like, I'm fine with what everyone says. And my dad would be like, okay, then explain what everyone says and why you're fine with it. Since you want to be quiet so
Make
bad.
your case.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
I made
wish
an excellent lawyer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My parents were not like that at all.
Yeah, it's okay. Most people, regardless of
they're racism. No. You're Ethiopian. Why are you complaining about this? And I'd be like,
I'm feeling it.
I'm just you don't have the language to explain it. You're just like, my feelings are hurt.
It's not great. Yeah. No, it's very, yeah. I definitely, that helped having a family where we talked.
That's beautiful.
Helped a lot. Yeah. And I think it helped explain a lot of things. Because it was just so much of it was just confusion. I was just so confused about everything in this country and dynamics. And understanding Blackness as a foreign, as an immigrant from Africa in itself is a layer that I think people are just now discussing. But I didn't know
it's very confusing.
And my relation and my skin color to this country meant. I had no context of that.
And it's not like they talk about Africa in school.
No.
Let alone Blackness. It's just there's no space for these kinds of conversations as a child anywhere.
No.
So
I was just listening to Trevor Noah's What Now podcast, and he had this artist, Derek something, I forgot his last name. But he was talking about how his parents came from Ghana. And his dad was going to school to be a doctor or a dentist, I think. And he was saying, I really wish when immigrants come from Africa, there would be some sort of school to understand race relations. Because the analogy he gave is when you come from the continent to the US, you are coming in the middle of a game that you don't understand. You don't even know that the game is being played.
Right.
But you get here and you have on a jersey and your team is losing.
Exactly.
But you have no idea. No one has explained the rules of the game.
You don't know why you're on the team.
Yes, but you're on a team. The game is literally midway and you're just expected to. And that it is
that's a great analogy. I love that.
It's so good.
That's really powerful. And I agree. We need some type of resource for that because similar to cultural integration, right?
Yes.
Where all of these nonprofits where they help you get accustomed to how you just ask for a job or how to do small talk or all of these things. Not understanding race relations as an immigrant that is Black is very, very, very confusing and it's harmful.
It is.
And it sets
very
you back
harmful.
a particular way.
Yeah.
I think also for us as Ethiopians, once we clock the racism, right? And we're a very prideful people.
Yeah, we other it. We literally act
we just act
the
racism
we're not included in
We're not included in it. We're this can't impact us because we're not that.
Yeah. There's a whole section of Ethiopians who genuinely I'm Ethiopian. I'm not African or Black. And I'm just oh, yeah, babe, the way the racism doesn't care about your
Let me show you this Venn diagram. And you sitting right in between both of these groups.
Yeah, so that part of it was just, I do really hope that we get better. And I think even talking about it openly.
I think we have.
About it helps a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it took a long time for me to understand my Blackness, because I understood the immigrant part so easily, but my Blackness took a long time to click and understand the dynamics. Which I don't think it really, and I loved history, so it wasn't that I didn't know history or whatever, but how I fit into it that is different. And also, again, I grew up in a very multicultural area. So everyone was from everywhere. So it wasn't like, if I grew up in the South, I would like fully understand. But no one was calling me the N-word or like really othering me in like very concrete ways. And so that wasn't clicking for me until like it was more immersion.
I will say shout out to the white people that were extremely anti-Black to me early because I think it allowed me to clock.
Yes.
I felt Black pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Like I don't think I ever
I had very little
had the
interactions
opportunity.
with whites.
I think that's what I think. I don't think I even had the opportunity to distance myself from Blackness because it was like
middle school.
They would never let me. Yeah, they just would not. Like that wasn't a thing. And if they did it, it was still in an anti-Black way. They'd be like, "Well, you're African, but you're not Black. But you're Black, but like not Black. Like it would still be some type of like anti-Blackness built in. Yeah. So I bet like you just clock it. So I will say, if nothing else, thank y'all for the anti-Blackness early. Because it did allow me to understand some of these things quicker. Work,
I guess.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I got that. Like, I got that. You're not really Black, but I got that from people from other countries who are also either foreign or first gen. So, like, you know, I was like, I don't know how much of this all of this is very newly learned. But yeah, I had, I guess, some white friends, but like, yeah, I wasn't really close to white people like that. I don't remember. I feel like I was maybe an adult by the time I went to a white person's house.
Oh wow!
At least high school. Okay, I was high school. Maybe not an adult,
yeah.
but like I think I was in high school by the time I went to like a white person's house.
Wow. Okay.
All of my friends were foreign.
That's beautiful cool. Though. That's beautiful. That's such a nice. You know what I mean? Yeah, it is. That's lovely. Yeah. I wish.
Yeah. But now I don't do well when I go to certain parts of the U.S. because I get stressed out. The racism is so loud.
Yeah, it's very loud.
Gosh, I have to go.
Very loud.
I can't handle it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, but then the rest, like high school and everything
High school was great. Honestly, like it was very multicultural mix. There was white people, of course, but like, I mean, it was pretty split equally. So that was it was a great experience. Yeah, a lot of Ethiopians as well.
By then, yeah. Yeah.
Exactly.
Great. And then you went back to Ethiopia 10 years after.
Yeah, I went back the summer before my senior year of high school.
Okay.
For the first time. And that was
the shock.
Yeah. And that was also my like first international trip. So it was like here and then first international trip back was there.
Yeah.
So, and you know how it is. It was just so emotional.
Yeah.
But it was beautiful.
And the blur, it goes by so fast.
It's such a blur and it's so beautiful. This is a safe space, so I'll share this.
Yes.
But I have, I was also just talking to a friend about this at brunch, but I have sad nipple syndrome. And I think, do you know what that is?
No.
So it's okay. It's not a disease.
No. I'm imagining it. I'm like, what? In my head, I'm like,
it's related to this.
Just like this?
No. It's not a physical thing. It's, so basically this is a safe space to share this because I've listened to your episodes. So you guys talk about all the things. But basically when I touch my own nipples, I get this overwhelming feeling of like depression and nostalgia. And it's like
fascinating.
And it hits me like deeply.
Wow.
Like, you know, if somebody else maybe touches my nipples or whatever, it can be like maybe arousing. But if I touch my own nipples, it's deeply like emotional. Trigger. Yeah.
Interesting.
And I have like all of these images of like my childhood in Ethiopia and like how depressed I was sitting in Aurora, like looking outside the window, thinking about Ethiopia, and like all of these things just hit me.
Yeah.
And I've had it for years. I looked it up randomly during the pandemic. I was like, I need to figure out what this is. This is such a weird
thing.
So
you clocked.
I clocked that I've had it. And I've been telling people that I have it, but everybody's like, that's so weird. Like, what is that? What is that? So I was like, I Googled it and I was like, I get depressed when I touch my nipples. What is this?
Fascinating.
And during the pandemic, and I saw some like Reddit forums talking about sad nipple syndrome and an article from like this random blog.
Yeah.
It's not studied, you know? It's like, of course, because if men had sad nipple syndrome, we would have all the research.
Please.
Yeah. But I read about it and I literally from Reddit and I started crying reading other women's stories. Because I was like, wow, like I'm not a freak. Other people feel this sense of like overwhelming nostalgia when they touch their own nipples. And then one of my best friends, I had told her about it a few years ago.
Yeah.
And she told me she had it. She's the only other person. And I'm bringing it up because I was telling her I'm coming on this podcast and how like my immigration I feel like is really tied to this like overwhelming sense of nostalgia I have around this feeling.
Do you know what I'm wondering if there is a link between experiencing something like like leaving home, like a very sad event at a young age. I wonder if that is the trigger for why you have sad nipple syndrome. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I wonder if it is like people who experience an event like that at a very developmental stage who end up maybe developing it.
Yeah. Or like she was saying,
if they studied, maybe we would know.
If we can get some research behind this, please. I will volunteer as the first research person.
Yes.
But I think that could be it too. We were also talking about maybe like a loss of innocence and like, I don't know, like obviously like,
because I don't think it's a very sensitive thing, and I'm trying to think of what
I don't know what it is. The
so
only other time I've had like beyond like touching my own nipples and feeling that, I went to Chicago and they have these two buildings that look very similar to buildings in Ethiopia, and when I saw them, I felt it still. Like it triggered my nipple. This is such a weird thing to share.
So fascinating.
But it triggered my nipples.
No, that's really cool. I'm so thank you for sharing this.
Yeah.
Again, in the same way that you looked it up pretty recently, but there are people who probably felt that, who've like probably felt like, what is this thing? Yeah. That's so interesting.
It's very weird. I thought it was just me because, you know, Ethiopians, we have a whole genre of like music called Tizata nostalgia, right? Like we're just naturally like, we live in the past. Nostalgia. We love nostalgia. Yes. We're very nostalgic. We live in the past, everything. We romanticize the past. Yes. So I was like, maybe this is like a physical manifestation of that feeling. I don't know, of like something that I've never had or experienced, but no, it's a phenomenon other women experience too across cultures. So
the way I'm about to look this up after this pod is done, because that is really interesting.
And it's heightened when I travel. Yeah, it is heightened when I travel. Like when I'm on a plane and I do that, like I feel it more. Wow. There's like particular situations that trigger it. So maybe again, you said, it's tied around like a trauma around immigration.
I would love to see what like psychological, like developmental psychological events would link to that. Yeah, in what way? That's so interesting. Yeah. Wow. So was it hard being in Ethiopia, going back?
It was very emotional, but the first time it wasn't hard in the sense of like, it just felt like a loss. Like, you know what I mean? That.
Same.
Yeah. That's what hurts.
I think I very much was like, I listen to country music when I'm sad because I technically come from the country. And I connect to it, but like it very much, I went back and I was like, everything I felt and experienced only lives in my head. My town had changed so much. It was like a big city now. So many people had left and everything. And I was like, I thought I would come back, but like you can never go home. No. Like things never stay the same. And so many people died. So many people are sick.
Like the way that you know people from your childhood, they're not the same person. Not the same. You're not the same. So much is different. It's heartbreaking.
There's a level of connection that is like, it's also a thing that happens when you're an immigrant, because I went there and everyone was like so excited to see me and they treated me like they knew me, but there was also this thing of like, but we don't know each other. No, like I don't know you. I felt so overwhelmed with emotions that I just couldn't but I didn't have time to process it. Yeah, and it's like, it's a lot.
It is. And also, like, I remember when we first went back, it was just my brother, my mom, and I. My dad and my sister didn't come. So, like, that was missing. But seeing, like, it had also been the first time my mom had gone in 10 years. So, seeing, like, her processing that, too, was, like, it was just hurting me. Yeah. So, I feel like, for her, it's a lot of grief. It's a lot of grief, a lot of pain. So many, her brother had died and all of these people. And it just, like, that part of it, like you said, like the realities and like the memories that we hold quite literally only live in our head, and some of them are not even real.
Yeah, they're not
real. We've manufactured some of these like beautiful memories.
Skill, actually.
Yeah, some of the best memories of my childhood are not real.
Some of the best things I remember never happened.
I literally swear I have this memory of me running up this wall by my house and like doing a backflip. I know I didn't do that. Oh, I know, but for whatever reason, like
I used to flip on walls all the time. Don't try me.
It's such a crazy thing what our brains do. It's like crazy. This like magical surrealism or realism. How do you pronounce it? Magical realism, like kind of like
That's super cool.
Yeah.
Okay, well, thank you for sharing.
Yes.
We're gonna move on to the next segment of this podcast. But thank you so much. That was a really, very relatable.
Thank you for sharing too. It was nice to have this conversation.
Guys, I'm trying to share more on the podcast, but I want you all to know that technically I don't want to. I would rather no one knew anything about me, but I didn't choose an art form that allows me to do that.
I appreciate it, so thank you
so much. Yeah. Okay, we're going to play a game called True Millennial.
Okay.
True Millennial is a game where I ask you questions that millennials will know. You are
Gen Z cusp.
You're a cusp. You'll know these things though.
But I feel like I'm pretty millennial coded, so I think
agree.
I'm good.
I think you are too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll ask you 5 questions, and then you will tell me your answers.
Yeah.
I didn't bring my board because I wasn't sure if we were actually going to play this game. But keep it in mind. Okay. I'm going to ask all of them, and then you're going to go.
I'm excited. Let's do it.
Who created the show Girlfriends?
Oh.
You can write it on your phone if you want.
Like Google it?
No, write it. Write the answer on your notes app.
Okay, let me go to my notes app. Yikes. Was my black card going to get taken away?
Might could.
Okay.
Or write down at least what network Girlfriends came on.
Okay, I'll do that.
I'll give you a half point for that. And then if you can think at least like a first name or whatever.
Okay.
Okay. Second, what reality star? I don't know if you were into the Housewives world at all.
Enough.
What reality star flipped a table and what did
I know.
And what did she say when she did it?
Oh, I don't remember what she said.
Okay. 3, what was the theme song for One Tree Hill? I don't know if you ever watched. I
did not watch that show.
That was
I do. I do remember. I don't want to be
see? And then 4, which pop stars? This is very millennial. I really don't know. Which pop stars were in the Pepsi Gladiator commercial?
Gladiator. Okay.
It was like Gladiator ring.
I think I remember. I remember 1. How many? Is there?
Try to get 3.
Okay. It's okay. All right. I think.
Okay. And then the last one. What song did Kelly Clarkson sing after winning American Idol? You were maybe not.
Oh, I don't know.
Not here.
I don't know.
This is a very millennial question.
These are millennial. Yeah, I don't think I'm as millennial coded as I thought. I don't. Yikes. Okay.
First question. Girlfriends. What network was it on?
CW?
No.
What?
UPN. UPN had all the black shows. 101, Half and Half, Girlfriends.
I watched it on CW. That's why it came out. And so in my mind, it's on CW.
Okay, maybe some point. And then the person who created it is Mara Brock Akil, who also is doing Forever on Netflix right now. Mara Brock Akil. That's who did it.
Please take away my black card. Take away my black card.
She was a pioneer. Okay, what reality star flipped?
Teresa.
Yes. And she said, prostitution whore. What was the theme song for One Tree Hill? You sang it?
I don't want to be anything.
Gavin DeGraw.
Yes, Gavin DeGraw.
And what pop stars were in the Pepsi commercial?
Britney.
Yes.
Madonna.
No.
Beyonce.
Yes. Pink.
Yeah.
And then Enrique Iglesias played the Emperor. It was
very
wild.
random.
Very random.
That's super random.
But that commercial was
It was amazing.
It was so.
It was
what
amazing.
A moment. They don't do it anymore.
No.
And then what song did Kelly Clarkson?
I don't know.
Some people wait a lifetime for a moment.
That's what she sang?
This. Yeah.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah, it was very cute.
That's sweet.
And it was the first one. We all cried. It was a whole thing. Yeah.
I love her. Shout out Kelly Clarkson.
Shout out Kelly Clarkson.
Yeah.
You're a great diva. We love you.
Yes.
And that's it. Please subscribe to Are You New Pod on YouTube and wherever you get podcasts. And like and follow us on Instagram. You can also follow me, Kalki Jamo, Kalki EJ, on Instagram and TikTok. Where will they find you if you want to share?
You can find me on IG, Haney _B, HANEY _B.
Yay!
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.